What's up, guys? This is Zach. Welcome to New Angle Sports Talk. I'm here with Kyle. And
what's up, you guys?
We're going to talk about some things in the basketball world gearing towards the playoffs. So let's get started.
All right, so what are we going over first? Zach Attack?
Okay, do you have a preference? Because we can just jump into the NBA MVP discussion if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so
We're about to get wrecked.
Okay, apparently I'm going to get wrecked with this discussion. So
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about the NBA MVP debate. We have very different opinions, and regardless really of anybody listening, we're still going to debate because we have very, very different opinions on a lot of things. So what we're going to do is you can go ahead and get started with your side. I'm pretty sure I know who you're picking, but for the audience, go ahead and tell them who your favorite is to win.
Well, I think the favorite is probably for a lot of people the Harden. I can't agree with it.
A lot of people.
I can't get behind Harden. He, in my opinion, is the overrated candidate.
Oh, overrated.
Yes. Reason being is a lot of his stats are inflated based off of the system that he's in. Hey, chill out. I'm about to drop some stats.
Okay, go ahead. Drop the stats.
Okay. So the big thing obviously is the points. Harden's got 36 points per game, which that's pretty amazing. I gotta give it to him. But Giannis is at 28. I mean that's not bad. I mean
it's not bad. It's not bad. You're right.
Not at all.
But
Giannis has got 13 rebounds per game, where Harden's got 7. Giannis has 6 assists to Harden's 8. Harden has 2 steals to Giannis's 1 steal. Giannis has 2 blocks to Harden's 1. So I will say that they both are in areas that, I mean, the points are for Harden. Giannis is kind of probably the better defensive player, as well as he's obviously he's bigger, so he's going to get more rebounds. But in my opinion, I don't know. But I'll go over some of the advanced stats to kind of back some of this stuff up. So Giannis also only plays 33 minutes a game. Compared to
the number one team in the East too.
Yes, and the number one team in the East.
Right.
So you could say that he has led his team to, arguably, they're called the best team, record-wise at least.
Only
in the
putting
NBA.
in 33 minutes a game.
Yes, so he actually gets to sit out a lot of the fourth quarter because his team is blowing a lot of the teams out in the East,
right,
as you say. So the East is a little bit weaker than the West. I'll agree. Harden's averaging over 37 minutes a game, which I mean that's quite a bit of difference. The next thing is Harden. This is my big issue. Is Harden gets to take so many more shots per game than everyone else does. He averages 25 shots per game to Giannis's 17, but is quite a bit less efficient at a 44% field goal percentage compared to Giannis's 58. Now, I will say a lot of that has to do that he shoots a lot more from the outside, but he's not even efficient from the three-point line. He shoots 13 3-points a game. 13. That is ridiculous. And he only averages 5 makes a game.
Only.
That's horrible. That's 37%. Like that's not even that good. Like so, I'm just like, why do you get to take so many shots when you're not even efficient with it? I did the math. 30% of his points have come from the free throw line.
How many? What did you say?
30%.
30%. Oh my god.
That is ridiculous.
That's a lot of points from the free throw line.
That is a ton of points.
It'd be crazy if it was like 35% though.
I mean, that's obviously for a point guard to, I guess, run a bunch of isolation the whole game, run through the paint and hope to run into some guys, and the ref call it. Yeah, I mean he's going to get it, or his patented step back jumper where he gets to travel and then the guy fouls him because he has no choice. Yeah, he gets quite a bit of free throws per game for sure. And if you want to talk about defense and offensive efficiency, where I do know I got these efficiency numbers from NBA.com.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's hard to kind of quantify efficiency numbers, especially on the defensive end, without watching every single game. So, I'm going to give you the rankings on these. Take them with a grain of salt or however you want. But Giannis is first in the league in defensive efficiency, where Harden is coming in at 36. And Giannis is 18 on offensive efficiency, where Harden is actually coming in 36 as well. So this guy that averages 36 points a game, he's not. It just doesn't seem like he's a volume scorer, which I guess some of the people say Kobe, is another volume scorer, and he's arguably.
Is there any reason you're bringing up Kobe? Is there any reason why?
Well, my buddy here he's his favorite player of all time, so that's I kind of wanted to bring that up. This is the Lakers fan over here, but that's kind of my argument for Giannis. He's been arguably the best two-way player for the whole season. Paul George was my vote for up until the All-Star break, but unfortunately, I don't know if it was due to injuries, but Giannis has overall been the most consistent two-way player throughout the entire season.
Right.
So on the best team, he is on the best player. At least I know the Warriors are probably the best team, but record-wise, he's been the best. That's my case for Giannis. I'll go ahead and let you.
Yeah, I'll give you my spiel real quick and intervene though. I wanted to kind of interrupt you on a few of the things, so I'll kind of address.
I'm sorry, I'm a loudspeaker.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, so I'm going to address some of your topics before I get into mine. Okay, so first off, you said minutes, right? You're giving Giannis kind of a advantage because he's playing less minutes and his team is doing better. But I think that's actually probably the disadvantage. He's doing less and they're still winning. So is he the most valuable player if he's doing less than James Harden is and still winning? And do you have a response, or you want to go to the next one? Because I can just do them all real quick. And then, okay, well, we'll just.
Well, I mean, in the minutes, he's averaging arguably the most minutes on his team, but he doesn't have to play typically into the fourth quarter because they're already blowing the team out. I think he's obviously the most valuable player to the Bucks. I think that's the reason. That exact point is the reason why Steph Curry and Kevin Durant aren't winning MVPs right now, is because their team is so good, they don't even have to play in the fourth quarter. So they're like, okay, we're great as a team. Okay, so we're going to give the MVP award to somebody who actually is leading their entire team, who's the lone guy on their team, which is Giannis and which is Harden. So I'm not disproving, or I'm not trying to debate that Giannis he shouldn't win it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Harden is a better candidate, and I'm going to go over why in just a second. But also, one more thing you said as well was that Harden shoots 30% from the free throw line. 30% of his shots from the free throw line, right? Well, 30% of his points come from the free throw.
30% of his points. Okay,
I might be a couple percent off. No.
I don't know the stat either, so I'm just going with you. If you got it from NBA.com, we'll link it in the description below. By the way, every stat that we bring up, we're going to link it in the description below, so you can see the numbers for yourself, and maybe we change your mind on some of these narratives or some of these debates. So, but I don't think 30% of his points coming from the free throw line is that big of a deal, and I'll just tackle the free throw one in just a second, right away. But so, who's the league leader in free throws per game? Shot attempts a game. Who's the league leader right now per game? Who do you think? Wild guess. You just said his name like 15 times a minute ago. Not Giannis, but the other guy.
No, Harden.
Harden. Yeah, he's number one. Okay, who's number two? Okay, well, actually, let me tell you the percentage real quick.
I would actually probably say Giannis is probably up there.
He's three. So my point is James Harden shoots, not makes yet, but he shoots 11.11 free throws a game. And again, that's going to be in the description below. You can check it out real quick. And when you go click on, after you hit the subscribe button and the like button and the share button and the notification button, you're going to hit the description button and you can see all the links anyways. But second comes in Embiid at 10.21. So about an attempt below him is Embiid. And then about 9.49 is Giannis. So 2 attempts basically per game. Harden shoots more at the free throw line. If that's such a big drastic difference, that he shouldn't, that Giannis should, or I'm sorry, that you're arguing against Harden because he shoots 2 more free throws per game against, the rest of the league. Now he is leading. He's also leading in makes as well too. He's averaging 9.76 per game. So 9 out of 11 free throws typically on a given night are going in. Giannis is actually third on the list still. It's the same exact ranking. So it goes Harden, Embiid, Giannis. And Giannis is at 6 a game. So he's shooting 9, making 6. None of them are pretty crazy. And I'll get to more about the shot selection in just a second and all that as well. But we get so kind of worked up that, oh my God, Harden got to the free throw line. The problem is that he's getting to the free throw line. The problem is he's making it from the free throw line. He's making 9 a game.
Yeah.
He's making 9 a game, almost 10 a game, 9.76 a game. But he's getting there. He's making it. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the slowest guy. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the smallest guy. He's an average sized dude.
Yeah.
But he's just slick. He does the Euro step. When he drives the basket, he puts his chest out kind of and like hides the ball a little bit and does a little layup or whatever. Because we also found out that he's only made 20 dunks this season, which is kind of interesting that he shoots so many layups. Well, layups compared to dunks is what my point is. So a lot of times, if you dunk the ball, you're probably not going to get a free throw call. But if you lay it up, there's more time in the air. The ball's in the air for the person to call the whistle compared to if you're dunking it down. But anyways, enough of that. So my point is Harden, Embiid, and Giannis. I want to bring up Giannis is because you said that's a downfall, but Giannis is right there with him. He's third in the league with 3-point attempts and 3-point makes per game. Not percentages. I'm not going to bring up percentages because, again, take it with a grain of salt. But as far as actual attempts go, they're pretty much on par in my opinion.
The only thing is it's, if you look at, as you said, Embiid and Giannis, the difference is, I know Embiid's stats, he takes 83% of his shots come from within the paint.
Right.
It's expected that he's going to take more free throws, where Harden is taking a drastic amount of threes, and he's getting, he has this amazing, he has a step back that gets called a foul so many times per game. So yeah, he doesn't even shoot most of his points in the paint. Let's
talk about the paint then, because you're getting right into my debate. So you're kind of setting it up for me, which is pretty good. I don't know how you're doing this, but it's kind of working. It's flowing pretty good. How you're just setting me up for that. Okay, so
perfect.
Talk about points in the paint real quick. Or again, I don't want to really talk about the statistic, as far as the averages and stuff. I just want to talk about the amount of shot attempts per game in the paint, or percentage rather, the percentage of shots in the paint. Okay, so Giannis, obviously he's 6'11". If you can get to the paint and you're 6'11" and you look like a bird with the wingspan that you have, get to the paint. Work with your strengths. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. But Giannis shoots 71% of his shots in the paint. James Harden shoots 38% of his shots from the paint. Again, NBA.com. The statistic is in the description below. But again, so you're saying that Harden has an advantage because he shoots 30% of his shots not in the paint, and he's shooting a difficult shot from the 3-point line. Is that the argument that we're making?
Well, it is, but my problem is he's on pace to shoot over 1,000 threes this season.
Right.
But he's only shooting 37% from 3-point.
Yeah.
Which it's average, but I mean, in years past, he's actually utilized going to the paint more often than this year. So I don't get why he's not. He has some shooters. I mean, like Eric Gordon's shooting over 40% from 3. CP3 isn't too bad from 3-point.
Maybe if he's passing the ball though, like that, if he's giving it up to those guys, maybe his points per game. The thing is, maybe it goes down, but it does go down probably because he doesn't average 36 a game. But let's bring up the scoring leaders right now because this is important because Giannis has moved up since the weekend. We looked at it last Sunday and he was tied for 5th with LeBron, and that's what it was if I remember correctly. But Harden's at 36.3 points a game. Paul George is at 28 points per game, and then Giannis is at 27.7. So he's right there next to Paul George, 0.3 points per game less. But
yeah, I rounded him up to 28.
28. That's just it. They're both tied for 28 points per game. But the issue is, I don't care how efficient you are, as long as you're averagely efficient, and you give me 36.3 points per game, or let's just round it down, 36 points per game. And here's the biggest thing right now. So here's the Western Conference standings. We have a debate. We'll put that in the next video about the Eastern Conference. But for the Western Conference, as of the day that this video is shot on April 5th, around 9:33 p.m. Central Time, because I don't want any haters in the comments. The Warriors are the number 1 seed. Their record is 54-24. The Nuggets are obviously second at 52-26, but the Rockets are at 51-28. So they are 3.5 games back from the Warriors are. The Warriors and the Nuggets. So when you think of the Western Conference all year long, it's been Warriors, Nuggets, back and forth basically.
Yeah.
Harden's right there. Now, granted, the Bucks have 59 wins and the Rockets have 51, so they have an 8 win share total higher than the Rockets do. But again, I'm looking at more of the context when I'm looking at the conference standings right now. Harden plays in the West, and we will have this debate for another day about how poorly the East is. We will have that debate. But my point is Harden consistently plays in the West against the toughest players, against the toughest position, playing at point guard or coming off a shooting guard. But you have stacked shooting guards in the West as well too. Every night he's averaging more points than Giannis is. And I'll address the defense here in just a second because I'll bring that up as well too in just a second. But he's averaging 8 more points per game than he is. Maybe he's not as efficient. Maybe he does get to the free throw line, but he's knocking shots down. He's getting points and buckets, and he's getting wins, most importantly. And the thing is we had an issue with Chris Paul being injured for a period of time in the season as well too. So he's putting the team on the back, and he's getting wins, and he's putting out big numbers as well too while he's doing it. Now, one last thing, and then I'll let you rebuttal, and then we'll probably close the video at that. We don't want it to go too long after that. But the next thing was about defense, and that'll be probably the final point for me, and I'll let you kind of intervene as well. But I get it. He doesn't play that good of defense. He never really has. He's been a volume shooter, a volume scorer as well. And I totally get that. It's no problem at all. But he's not as bad as he once was. Okay, so a couple years ago, before he started winning MVPs, he didn't play a lick of defense. So there was videos of him flailing, of whatever, of not losing his man or whatever the case is, and he didn't win MVPs. Now he's at least moderate. Yeah, he's not great, but he's moderate enough so that he's giving something on defense, and that's why he won the MVP last year instead of Russell Westbrook or somebody else who obviously was also deserving of it as well too. But the thing is Harden is playing at least some defense to the point where it's acceptable, and his offensive numbers are just drastically insane compared to anybody else in the league right now. But yeah, go ahead and your rebuttal, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next topic real quick.
Well, I think Harden would win the MVP no problem if it was any other year. But I think when Russ won his MVP, Harden was second, a close second.
Yeah.
Harden actually has been second in the MVP he's been first or second in the MVP 4 out of 5 years.
Right.
Obviously winning it last year. So he's always been there, but Russ was a special thing because he averaged a triple-double for the first time in God knows how many years. But typically when you look at MVPs, it's typically the best player on the best team, which in my opinion has been Giannis, considering the Bucks have the best record and have been dominating their games. That's why I'm voting for Giannis on this. Harden's obviously been unbelievable on the offensive end, but I feel like we should make an offensive player of the year category. Harden would probably win that every year, but that's just me. If you guys have any comments or questions for us, definitely
topic discussions too.
Yes,
what do you want to talk?
Yes,
we got a list of things to talk about, but obviously, like Kyle said, if you have something you want to throw in there, you want to debate, we have a lot of stuff coming about some things. So go ahead and thanks for watching. Let's talk about the next discussion in the comments. And if you haven't already, this is our first video, so go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and then give us your feedback, good or constructive. It doesn't matter. We want it all. So is the lighting bad? Is the audio bad? The audio we're going to work on, but You know, is the topics bad? Do we need to get a little bit more rowdy in this place, or what? All right.
Yeah,
So,
I can put him in a suplex if we need to. You know, if that's what you guys
to
want
win
to
a
see.
debate?
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
get handsy? All
Yeah.
right. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.